Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're doing our movie episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, who's back from the dead with me tonight.
I am Joe Butler, wearing a snazzy new movie outfit.
And I am Barry Carenza from Premium Edition Games, where you can get our latest physical pre-orders available right now at premiumeditiongames.com. And I am absolutely back from the dead, but I came back with Black Star Dragon Balls.
I am Mario from Biased Gaming, and honestly, you know what? Teddy bears would be torture to me, too.
I'm John from my chair sitting in front of my television.
Well, you also are on Commander Lionheart sometimes, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I do show up on Commander Lionheart streams. I've been on the last, I think, 4 or 5.
Okay.
So, yep.
All right. And Joe, what are we here to talk about?
Today, we are here talking about Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, the exclusive Dragon Ball Z movie that came out April 18th, 2015 in Japan. I'm not sure what the release date is for America.
I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I was there.
Yeah. So, fun fact about this movie, which is a little bit into the movie, but I completely want to bring it up at the beginning because it's important. So, in this movie, it is featured when we get to the resurrection of F, there is a very specific song that plays. Mike, are you familiar with Death Note?
Yes, I watched the whole anime, but it's been a bit.
So the opening, though, it's Maximum the Hormone makes the opening for both Death Note openings, and they made the song, which is called F for this movie. But it's the chicken of the egg situation because this song was actually released several years prior to the movie. The song F was made by Maximum the Hormone. It was compared that Frieza's acts of genocide and oppression as allegories for the oppression of the Tibet by the Chinese government, as well as the 1995 terrorist attacks carried out by a cult in Tokyo. And it's a really good song, as you heard in the show, but the song came out and Akira Toriyama listened to it and went, oh, this is really badass. I should bring Frieza back in the series. And that's why this movie exists.
Yeah, I heard the same exact thing before, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's the like heavy metal Frieza song, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first time I heard of that song was actually, Team 4-Star.
Yep, and that episode...
Me too, that's what I was about to say.
That episode airs before this movie comes out, so it is very much true that this song came out and Akira Toriyama was like, that's fucking awesome, I should bring Frieza back.
Whatever, I mean, it worked. So
it worked.
That's hilarious, though, that sometimes stuff just happens oddly like that. Like, you just have a great idea just comes to you because of some randomness.
But guys, Frieza already came back in GT.
He does?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
For like
He doesn't
he comes back in the Janemba movie.
Oh yeah, he comes back twice. Yeah, once
Yeah.
each in the Z movie. I forget which one though.
Was it Wrath of the Dragon?
No, it was
Or the next one?
the Janemba one when
Yeah.
Goku and Vegeta first did
Fusion
the
Unborn.
dance. Reborn.
You should watch more of those
Fusion
movies.
Unborn. Yeah, it was
You
the
should-
one right before.
You should also watch a lot of the specials. I completely forgot there's a special. It's like 30 minutes long, and it introduces Vegeta's brother.
Yeah, Son Goku and Friends Return. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, they never wrote that in English, though, which is so weird.
Oh,
Oh,
that
no,
is
there was
weird.
an English one too.
Yeah, it's in the English.
Was it official by Funimation, or was it fan?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Funimation.
It's all the voice actors. It's Sean Schimmel and Christopher Sabat. It's all of them.
Oh, did they? Where did they bring that? I never saw that in
Mhm.
English.
I've only seen it on YouTube.
Once, many years ago. Yeah, but I remember that because of Tarbles and everything, and his weird alien wife.
But also, technically, none of those are canon, I assume, correct, at this point?
No, that's canon.
Tarbles-
That one.
Tarbles is canon.
I mean, like
They-
the Frieza stuff, is that canon?
They referenced him in the previous movie too, actually. In this movie, previously.
None of the... Yeah, they referenced him in the previous movie because they asked Vegeta if he can call his brother over. But the only non-canon Dragon Ball Z movies are the originals. So everything from Tree of Might up until, I think, what's the last Dragon Ball Z movie? Like
Fusion and Wrath of the Dragon was the last one before Battle of the Gods.
No. Eradication of the Saiyans.
Oh, that was a special. That wasn't really a movie.
It's also a game.
That's in... No, it's in Raging Blast 2.
Yeah, that's the only way it came to America, but it wasn't like released as a movie. It was released as like a bonus feature.
Okay.
Oh, like an OVA originally or something?
Yeah, like an OVA,
Okay.
pretty much.
I forget they do that a lot over there.
I believe at this time when this movie came out, there were 19 movies, and Bardock, History of Trunks, and this movie are the only ones that are canon.
Oh, Bardock and History of Trunks are like specials.
Well, I
As of the recent Dragon Ball Z chapter, Bardock is no longer canon. There's a new canon for Bardock.
Yeah.
Yeah, at
Okay.
this time. So.
But I know all the movies weren't canon at the. I could have swore at this time. I remember watching them. People tell me like that's not actually canon. Like they're just their own thing.
Because you can't find a spot. Like there's always one continuity error in like every movie.
Yeah,
my-
you can't really fit it.
My favorite
it's like-
one.
Someone's here, but someone's alive, and they're supposed to be dead at this point.
My favorite point is
I
that they rehash Frieza like for Cooler, which is basically just Frieza dies and he comes back as a robot, and then Cooler dies and then comes back as a robot.
Yeah.
That movie is really bad.
And Cooler's not canon, and it sucks because I think Cooler's a really cool character.
I like Cooler.
And
Has
Cooler.
Has Cooler been made canon now in the manga? I believe he's been mentioned in the manga officially.
Maybe reference, but I don't think they directly say Cooler.
I don't remember.
Okay. Oh, and I should say the plot of this movie is some of Frieza's goons come to Earth, get the Dragon Balls thanks to Emperor Pilaf, who's still around from last movie, and they wish Frieza back to life. So that's the plot. Frieza comes back and fights people.
The best explanation I could come up with, which I watched it with my roommate, and the best explanation I come up with is, oh yeah, it's just like Star Wars. Just because you kill Darth Vader and Palpatine doesn't mean the Empire goes away.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's fair. Something like that wouldn't end just because the leader is gone. Other people will just fill in that vacuum. Usually you just have a power vacuum in reality. When you have
Well, in this
organizations
case,
like
didn't
that.
they thrive?
Well, after Frieza died, like, other people just, I guess that guy just took over, whoever the hell this idiot is. Man, I know he has a name, but...
Sorbet.
Okay.
This movie, so I was like, I'd like to do our memories, but like I'm pretty sure I saw this movie in theaters. I know I went one day to go see with my friend, but we didn't buy tickets ahead of time. We got there, it was sold out. And I'm pretty sure we went a different day, like the next day or something, and went and saw this movie. Because I know I've seen this movie before. Like this, I remembered multiple things about it, so I'm pretty sure I saw it in theaters, but I really don't know. Joe, what is your history with this film?
I've never seen it either. Like I said, I probably watched the Battle of the Gods, and then I tried watching the Super anime, and I kind of fell off. And I kind of just figured what was going on. I actually didn't know what happened in this movie, but I've heard of what happened, and I can tell you right now, the ending of this movie's great up until the ending, because the ending fucking blows.
I like the ending personally.
I have
I
an issue with the ending.
Okay. Barry, what is your history with this film?
So this was one of those where, like we talked about Battle of the Gods, when I saw that and it got my wife into Dragon Ball. So when this movie was coming out, she surprised me and was like, I got us tickets to actually see it in theaters because it was like a limited showing and there was a theater near us that was doing it. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. Let's go. So I got to see it with a bunch of crazy Dragon Ball fans because everyone's screaming in the theaters. And it was, I really enjoyed it. I didn't mind the ending. My biggest issue with the movie came with what they did to my boy Gohan, because man, does he not do well in this movie. He is neutered like a poor boy. My God. And that green, I love green, but that green jumpsuit, no. What did they do to Gohan?
I like it.
This was Gohan at his worst. I'm sorry, and that I prefer baby Gohan screaming, attacking Raditz to this Gohan. But oh, go on.
Right. I love Gohan. I'm always a slut for Gohan and glasses, but I will agree with you. The jumpsuit's a little too much, and his hair was like, I can't tell if I hate this hair more or less.
I think the hair was terrible too. I think what it was is, you at the end of Z, he was so powerful, Mystic Gohan or, Ultimate Gohan or whatever you want to call it. Like, he was badass. He was beating the crap out of Super Buu like nothing. And now he goes to, I can't even turn Super Saiyan if I wanted to. Like, what did you do? This is horrible. Like, at least have him put up a fight. But he was made a bitch. He was literally just used as made a bitch to call Gohan or call Goku. That's what he was. He was a glorified lighthouse.
Okay, that's fair. I didn't think about that, but that is fair.
I will correct you. Well, not correct you. I will tell you one thing. Gohan in this is incredible compared to what they did to him in the show.
Oh,
They made him
yes.
so much worse in the show.
Correct.
In the show,
yeah.
he is
Yeah.
in the show. Going Super Saiyan almost kills him.
Yes.
What?
No, in the super
What?
adaptation of this, he is worse. You're right, but he
Yes.
still sucks.
Yeah, I like him. He's great in this compared to what he is in the show.
I guess this movie isn't really considered canon anymore because the show did it, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Well, I mean, also technically, this is the last Dragon Ball Z movie I'm assuming we're going to get because the next two are Super now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
That's
Yeah, I
true.
guess so.
They'll continue on. Mario, what is your history with this film?
My history of this film, I saw it like a year after it came out, only because I rented it on the PS4. And first time seeing it, it was me and a buddy of mine. We were just watching it, and it was great. This is actually the movie that actually made me believe that, you know what, like I said on the chat before, Vegeta should have became the main character, not kept it as Goku. Because we know Goku got to blue because he went Super Saiyan God. But how the hell did Vegeta get to blue without us seeing or even hearing that he figured out how to go God mode? And that kind of made me go like, oh, dude, there's something there that could potentially have Vegeta be the main protagonist, and which is why I believe, they decided to focus more on the future Trunks stuff and then the Kaba stuff, and Vegeta basically becoming a mentor in the show.
I took it as for them to become gods probably wasn't that hard, that they just practiced it and did it. That's how I took it.
Well, no, see, they even say that in the previous movie that it takes 5 or 6 Saiyans to do the ritual, whereas they say in the manga too that Vegeta figured out how to go God mode without the ritual.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. It was alluded that he underwent like some really special training with Whis, and that's how he
going to Yardrat too.
Yardrat is later. Yardrat is like after Broly.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'll take your word for it.
Because that's where he learned instant transmission.
That's right.
Okay. John, what is your history with this movie?
I've seen this movie once, I believe. I'm pretty sure I watched Battle of Gods and this like back to back for the first time. So it's been whenever this came to Blu-ray, I believe, or I might have watched it online. I can't remember, but I've seen it once before this.
Okay, and this one's actually available online. You can't buy it on Amazon or rent it, but you can watch it on Crunchyroll or, at the moment, YouTube. Someone has it on there until that goes away, but it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I have the Blu-ray of it, and boy, I tell you, it's weird seeing all the Funimation advertisement.
I think it's also on Hulu or some other streaming service too. I saw it today.
Yeah, Hulu, I believe.
Oh, that's cool. I'm happy that this exists more because Battle of the Gods was nowhere online. It was kind of weird. See, like watching when I did first see this movie in 2015, everything kind of like, because I was thinking about now, I wasn't a big Dragon Ball Z fan. I hadn't seen all the films, or I hadn't watched a lot of the show. Like I knew of it, of course, I'd seen, but like now that because I've watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z before, and now watching this movie again, especially after talking Battle of the Gods with you, like I was blown away by how much I enjoyed this movie. Like this is a fun movie. Like when Joe had commented in the chat, he's like, after listening to that song, got me pumped. I'm like, okay, I'm curious. I went and listened to it. I'm like, he's right. Like the movie just hits off on all cylinders, and it's fun. Like it gets you interested, engaged.
Oh, just wait, Broly got so much better.
I'm so excited for Broly.
Oh God, yes. So Broly is like 10 times better, both emotionally and action wise, and the way that it's animated too.
One thing that I caught right away, because it's Akira Toriyama's art, is when they're on the ship, after they revive Frieza and throw him in the container, and he gets put back together after they make the wish for him. There is a guy who I mean, it's a frog. There's a frog guy, and all I can think of was Frog from Chrono Trigger, obviously. It just made me smile. Like, it's not exactly, but it's close. Like,
it's okay.
It's close.
I think if anyone has Google or Mike, you want to Google it. I'm also probably super wrong, but in the Buu saga, they have a villain that's basically named Deborah, and I think his design is just the Demon King dad from Sandland.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's in another game too. Yeah, he's Deborah. He's the King of Hell. He's a big pink demon-looking dude with horns that can turn people into concrete with his spit.
Because they mentioned the pink guy from the Frieza saga, don't they? I know they mentioned like 2 different warriors.
Yes. I said Deborah. I did not mean Deborah. I meant his name is not Deborah, but Deborah is the fat pink guy from Frieza's original squad.
No, that's Dodoria.
Dodoria, yeah.
Okay, I'm super wrong.
Deborah is also...
Yeah, they rivaled them, yeah.
Yeah, Deborah is also in the Buu saga, and he is also from another Toriyama thing, and I'm not sure what it is.
I was also curious why Boo isn't in this movie, because they mention Majin Buu, but Boo never shows up to help them fight.
He will be told not to go fight by his husband Hercule, so it's okay.
He's probably sleeping.
He does that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's never happened before in other times where Boo has fallen asleep.
He's never trained.
Well,
the
it
guy
will
that's-
never happen again, you mean?
Yeah. He only happens twice more in major fights.
He's never trained to get a really cool new form that we still have never seen in action.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
No, seriously.
Who doesn't get buff at all?
He kind of becomes hot, and it's weird.
Well, he gets closer to, like, Evil Boo.
Yeah.
Super Boo? Super Boo?
No, well, I think it's kind of more evil. Could Evil or Super Boo closer?
You have me curious now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get.
It's
eventually I'll
something.
watch more
It's
Dragon
something
Ball.
for Super. He
Okay.
trains a bunch, and then he falls asleep, and it's never used.
Oh.
And prior to that, there's another tournament in Super that he's gonna be there and fight and do all that, and they insist on making all the fighters take a test for intelligence, and he falls asleep on the test because he was bored and he doesn't get to fight. It's so silly. Poor Boo.
Okay, I was just curious why he doesn't why they bother to mention him but didn't do anything with him. But I guess that makes sense too.
Yeah, that's the excuse. He's fallen asleep. It's always safer because they say he's like sleeps for like 6 months at a time or something like that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
It was cool seeing Emperor Pilaf. Even though they're in a small scene, but I'm happy they're in this movie. But they're in and gone. Like they show up, they involve with them getting the Dragon Balls, getting Frieza resurrected, and they're gone. And I thought that was a nice twist just to have them there, but not make them important because I didn't want to see them again in a whole movie. But it's just nice to have them there because it fits the storyline, like the whole idea that they're just trying to bring Frieza back. And I mean, I guess most of it just Frieza come back, wants revenge, and then Frieza's like, okay, I'm going to go train for the first time in my life so I can become stronger.
Basically.
I don't really care for Frieza. Like when I was a kid watching Dragon Ball Z, I did not like the Frieza stuff at all because it to me went on too long. But
I don't blame you for falling off, but yeah.
and I also hate Frieza's anything but Frieza's final form. I think it's ugly as hell. Well, everything Frieza's ugly as hell, but
I'm a fan of his third form just because it's literally the xenomorph from Aliens, and I don't know how they got away with that.
oh yeah, but you never really see it though. Like I guess it's in the anime for a little bit.
Yeah,
Well,
he
that-
fights shortly with it.
That is a very simple question. Copyright laws don't exist overseas. And so like where our 30-year Disney copyrights exist, that doesn't
It's
exist.
like 80.
Yeah, that doesn't exist over there. That's why there's a part in JoJo where literally Mario is in there, and there's another part where I think Jolene is like, "Oh man, I fucking love Mickey Mouse. I can't wait to go to Disney World." And it literally, she's like in her dreams, it shows her like dancing with like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck.
When they unleashed that form in Dragon Ball Z Abridged, I always loved the line of Frieza's like, "Well, what do you think of this form?" And Piccolo goes, "I think Ridley Scott's going to sue."
Or the fact that the little tongue laughs too.
He has the little
Yeah.
inner mouth of the xenomorph.
Oh, so in this movie you had that little time cop guy that shows up, or intergalactic cop. Is he in the show? Because they met.
Jack the show.
Okay, when did he show
But
up?
I don't know when. Has he ever been in before this?
No.
I don't remember him.
So if I remember correctly, and someone can fact check me on this, it's from another one of Kiri Toriyama's like gag mangas where I think it's literally called Space Cop Jocko, and it's just about him where he just sucks at his job.
Okay.
Well, somehow he knows the Brief family. Like, he knows Bulma's sister, Bra.
Yeah,
No, Tights.
Oh, Tights. Yeah, sorry, Tights.
Bra's the daughter.
Yeah.
I forget that they had Bulma have a sister named Tights.
Yeah, you see her in Super. You meet her in. I don't remember when it is in Super, but yeah, she shows up in the show.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
I think
'cause this is
I think it might
years
actually be
after
this arc.
Z had ended. Like I think I didn't look it up, but I know it's a while after we had seen everything in the Buu saga. So there could be a lot of time between everything
in world or real life. You mean?
in the DBZ world.
It's been 5 years, I believe, between the end of Z and this movie.
Okay,
Yes,
so and it'd be more for Frieza
it
for when the
is.
time he fought Frieza.
It is
Yes.
called Jocko the Galactic Patrolman. It ran from July 29th, 2013 to October 14th, 2013. And the series is about how Jocko lands on Earth, and the whole series, it makes you think it's in a different universe. And the literal last chapter is him meeting Tights, and she takes them to Goku and Gohan and Dr. Briefs, and they fix his ship, and he leaves the Earth.
So I guess that's where they know each other from. All right. It was just, I was just wondering, could they make comments like, oh, yeah, I know him and this. And I'm like, all right, was it, because I've never finished the entire Buu saga, so I was wondering maybe it was something from there. That just didn't click, but that makes sense. That it's from the manga. Okay, it's not important, but there are certain things that this movie does a good job of having the humor, like we had with regular Dragon Ball Z and we had with Battle of God. But also, like I felt with this movie is it's very action packed and it's much more, I don't know, condensed is the right word, but it flows really well. Like once it never stops. Like Battle of the Gods took a while to get going because I had to like reintroduce everybody. But in this movie, it just felt like kind of like a roller coaster in a good way.
It's the way I've always like talked about this movie is like it's Avengers. It is the group of heroes going up against an entire army of like small fries.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that part's really great. And then the last 20 minutes happens and this movie goes down the crapper.
I disagree with that. Like I was on board this movie the entire time. Like I like it that I know you did too. You're saying, but like the first, it isn't an hour. It's an hour when Goku and them and Vegeta show up finally.
Yeah,
that whole small scene when Krillin's being a cop. Like even that scene, I really like to show like, hey, they have actual jobs now because there's nothing else going on, so they're working. Like makes sense. It's cool. I feel like Krillin wouldn't need a bike; he could just fly in front of them. But hey, whatever.
They try not. I think they explain on the show. They try not to show off that they're all strong. So like Gohan or Krillin will go out and like fight like basically like criminals, and then they'll be like, "How do you do this all by yourself?" And he's just like, "I guess I just got lucky."
Okay, it's a cool concept, and I really like it when Android. God, what is it? 17 or 16?
18.
Okay. When she's like, I'm stronger than you. And I was like, I would have rather seen her fight than him fight, to be honest, but whatever.
If you know your wife's stronger than you, you leave her home with the baby, plain and simple.
That's fair.
That was always one of those weird things with this. It's like, why isn't she fighting? And she is so strong. And that's why one of the things I do like about Super is they do show her fighting again. But it is so weird to me. Like, I understand they have a daughter and stuff, but there's enough babysitters in the Z Fighter world. Yamcha can babysit, right? Get 18 out there. She's so strong.
No, dude. Yamcha can't babysit. He's a pro baseball player, remember?
He can babysit.
Well, Chachu? And they're both mentioned in this. Yamcha and Chachu are mentioned. They're like, yeah, they're too weak. I didn't bring them.
Yeah.
Which is weird because while they are weak, they're still like the fourth or fifth strongest. The Yamcha's the fourth or fifth strongest, human on the planet still.
Yeah, but you are fighting intergalactic type enemies. So.
Exactly.
I have a weird question about the opening of this. I hope someone can answer it for me.
I can try.
When did they retcon the thing about the Dragon Balls? Because we start this movie off and they go wish to bring Frieza back, and the Dragon's like, I could bring Frieza back, but he'll be in pieces because he got caught up by Trunks, which is very well animated, I like to add.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I thought they made it. They used to be where they would come back, but they would not be teleported to wherever they were or whatever condition. Because like Goku got raised, wished back, and he didn't have a hole in his head or in his body from the special beam cannon or anything like that. So I think they just did it for plot convenience.
So it used to be that in Dragon Ball that you had to keep your body. So, like, if you died and you wanted to be wished back, someone had to keep your body so your soul had a place to go back into. And now with Goku, he got to take his body to them. So his body was still with him, basically, after he died. So when he got wished back, it was body and soul at the same time. It's basically like
that.
Yeah, it's basically Shenron when they wished Frieza back, he's like, well, the body's going to come back like it was because that's how it was when he died. And are you guys like, this is stupid? And so that's why it came back all cut up, because that's how his body was when he died. Now, It doesn't make a whole lot of sense because Krillin got the shit blown out of him on the Namek saga. And
Yeah.
I don't know how to
that's a different dragon.
Yes, right. It was Pranga.
Mm-hmm.
But even before that, I mean, Chaozu blew himself up in the Saiyan saga to stop Nappa, and
Still different dragon.
That was also Pranga because Chaozu had wished back already in Dragon Ball, so they couldn't use Shenron to wish him back.
Oh, that's right. He was. Tien came back though with 2 arms. He was missing an arm when he died.
He got to take his body to Otherworld.
In the anime he did. In the manga he didn't, but in the anime.
But Yamcha didn't because Yamcha still in the hole.
Yeah, he was still in the hole.
Oh, Yamcha.
That's my headcanon that Yamcha's
They
body.
even ended up in a bridge too. Like
That's
his body.
my point.
Oh, it's over there still.
But you
In
guys
the
do with my
anime,
body,
though-
they just hand to a rotting body still in the hole.
In the anime, he went to King Kai's planet with everyone else, though.
Yeah.
To train.
I mean, if you want to be even more technical about it, I guess the idea too would be that technically, because everyone that we've mentioned that's been brought back has technically gone to heaven, and so far we've only seen Frieza the only one that's gone to hell and then brought back with Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Vegeta went to hell, but he was also brought back.
Well, Vegeta went to hell
Still
and caused
dead.
a lot of shit, so...
Yeah, but he was brought back still dead to help Goku fight Boo, and he was wished back by Porunga.
Hey, when does Vegeta die? Blue Saga?
Usaga.
Okay.
Probably
best scenes ever.
Probably the coolest scene in all of Dragon Ball Z.
It's the best scene in all Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
It was the most emotional scene in Z for me.
Yeah, that scene's amazing.
Because as a parent, you feel for it a lot more.
Okay. It's been a while. It's been a while.
I will find it. I will find
Okay.
it and send it to Mike.
Oh, it's
I really appreciate the whole, like, when Frieza does come down to Earth and you see him just blow up a city just to get their attention. He's like, I love saying hello by destroying a city. I'm like, you are so fucking evil.
yes.
Yes.
But he also does that, but as soon as he comes back to life, he's like, hey, who's this guy? And Sorbet's like, oh, this is my secondhand man. And he like blows like half of the crew in there out the fucking space lock.
Well, because the secondhand man ends up saying, like, don't go kill the Saiyans. There's enough of the universe to go after. So he kills them for that insolence.
Yeah.
And funny thing about that character is that doesn't happen in the show.
Nope.
Because that character becomes Captain Ginyu.
Yeah.
Which I prefer, honestly.
Yeah, I really
mean,
like.
It was a waste just to kill him anyway. Just like that, just to show off that. But hey, at least the frog did survive, by the way. The frog doesn't die. I paid attention to that.
I love seeing the like 3 or 4 guys that are climbing back in the window from being out in space.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
But it also proves that Frieza forever wants and will be a fucking psychopath.
Well, Frieza's a spoiled child. I mean, he got everything he wanted. He got everything on the silver spoon. Then that's it. I mean, his father does anything for him. We've seen that.
Yeah, he's Daddy's little princess.
Yep.
Yes, he took care of the jockstrap incident.
And that's why Cooler was so great of a character, because he was like, oh yeah, no, I'm not spoiled like my brother.
Like if you like Dragon Ball, you should listen to this guy who's also who actually wasn't Team 4 Stars Abridged. He was Goku. He does a What If series. If What If Cooler was canon, and it was like expanded on Cooler's character and made it just 10 times better, like just with the bones of what was already there from the previous movies.
Yeah.
Okay. People have been trying to get me to watch Abridged and anything to deal with Bridge for years. It'll never happen, but it does sound cool. I mean, this is not Bridge, but it still sounds cool.
Abridged is a masterpiece. It's probably one of the greatest things ever made.
The first season has not aged well.
No, it hasn't. But honestly, I prefer Abridged over most of Super, except for the Black Arc.
I was gonna say you're gonna say I'd rather watch Abridged than rewatch the entire Dragon Ball Z series, which is also fair.
They condensed the Boo saga into like what, 30 minutes?
Yep.
I don't know how many times I have rewatched Abridged, and by the time I'm done, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to rewatch Z. I get everything I need from this.
I know. So Abridged is how I find my real friends. I show them one episode. I tell them, let me show you 2 episodes about it, and I show them the Cell Saga, and they go, oh, okay. And if they're laughing at the end of it, oh yeah, they're my friends, and they get hooked on it immediately.
All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle.
Call me. I need you to tell me that I can leave the lookout, Mr. Pepper. You can leave the lookout. Bitch, don't tell me what to do. All these squares make a circle.
But seeing the group get back together just to fight the minions, which, like, the whole idea that Frieza comes with like over 1,000 troops, but you get Tien, you get Master Roshi, Krillin. It was just Gohan. It was just fun to see again. I mean, I do get it. I didn't think about it when I was watching it, how weak Gohan is compared to Gohan in the end of Buu Saga. So I can see that would irritate you.
But he's still wreck shop.
Oh yeah, they all wreck shop. I mean they're all much stronger than the Frieza series.
And it's something that I didn't think about until, well, 1, I was watching Abridged today, and 2, I watched this movie. I'm like, technically, Piccolo is probably overall the strongest one there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
shouldn't it be Gohan?
Not
No.
not Gohan as he is in this. I mean, Gohan does take that dude out in a brief flash of some of the power he used to have, but when Piccolo fuses with Kami, he is the strongest person on the planet. Stronger than Vegeta, stronger than Goku, stronger than Gohan, until after the time chamber. So,
Yep.
yeah, Piccolo, that's why in one of the cooler movies, you just see Piccolo just flex and wipe out like 1,000 souls. He is more than likely the strongest one there right now.
And
Piccolo's also constantly training too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be implied that so if they're all strong, which is even cooler, which I think is great too. They establish that all the characters are basically stronger than how strong Frieza would have been in the original DBZ run.
Oh,
Mhm.
easily.
Yeah. They make comments about them too. It also makes sense why they can take out the Frieza force. 'Cause I forget, I think it's Roshi's is like, okay, we each got to kill like 100 some people or something like that. Something ridiculous.
I like the line that, like, yeah, we didn't tell Trunks and Goten because they would probably challenge Frieza.
Yeah.
And that
Which
would
they
not-
still do in the show.
Yeah,
Yep.
they actually put them in the show, and I actually kind of like that. But once again, you get to see Gotenks just get absolutely bitch slapped because Gotenks sucks.
It's
One
he's
day,
just arrogant.
Gotenks actually have a win.
Isn't he powerful as hell?
Technically does.
He is, but he is so arrogant that he will mess and play with his opponent until his time runs out, or they will screw the fusion up and be a joke. Gotenks is one of the coolest, worst things they have ever put in the show.
I think adult Gotenks will be a force to be reckoned with, though. Once he gets
Yes.
no longer the childish antics and a more adult, head on him.
Yeah.
Well, there's a weird thing that I don't know if Mike, have you seen the original Brawly movies?
No, never.
So there's one thing which honestly, if we watch the new one, we should go back to the older one because it's really funny. What's the fusion for the original Brawly movie? Is it Gogeta or Vegeto?
Gogeta.
Gogeta.
Gogeta has an ability with, well, I'm sure one of y'all knows the name of it. It's called Flicker, Sparkle Flicker, or something like that. But it apparently it's like a very small attack, but it has the ability to instantly kill anyone evil.
Shit. Soul Crusher or something like that.
Yes.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's something like that. But once you become a fusion like that, you pretty much are abnormally
It's in
abnormally powerful.
It's in the new Broly movie.
Yeah. Gogeta's in the new Broly movie. He's not in any of the original ones.
Okay, I've always been curious to see the Broly movies.
The only time Gogeta shows up in the original or in any of the original movies is Fusion Reborn.
Yep.
Yeah, the Janemba one. That's it.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
And then GT.
Yes.
Yes.
Super Saiyan 4.
Best version of it, my opinion.
When I was watching to kind of go back to with the fight thing, because the very thing I really think about, it just felt so good to see them all get a chance to do something and not just be Goku. It was really nice. I don't know, that's something I appreciate with this movie. I appreciate that that the villain is so good and getting to see characters that I like the stuff with Piccolo. I love when he throws the hat off, tosses it to a guy, and the guy just falls down, and he knocks out 4 guys with his jacket because that's how heavy he is, how heavy they are. It was great. A little scene, but very, very good.
Well, that was the biggest critique going forward with all the power creep that happened with the Saiyans, is the Saiyans were so strong that everybody else fell to the wayside. And again, people became Yamcha became butt of jokes, and it's he's still the 4th or 5th strongest human on the planet. I mean, and where he's a butt of a joke, he could walk up to virtually 99% of the population and beat them with one punch. And Tien constantly trains too. I mean, he's got a dojo and he's always training consistently, and he's still the butt of jokes. And it's this guy is buff and strong and the 2nd strongest human on the planet, and gets no attention or no spotlight, and that sucks because everything was focused on the Saiyans.
Yeah, that was nice in this. You see Tien do his tri-beam. You have Krillin do the destructo disc. Little throwbacks that really made me smile because I've watched all of the original Dragon Ball.
It sucks too because even in Super, there's a point where At one point, even Yajirobe is more helpful than Yamcha and Tien at one point. Just by being there with Sensus when he has very little, or he's helping a resistance.
I mean, Yajirobe is the one who cut Vegeta's tail off in the Sand Saga.
His only good thing he's done.
Oh no, he actually got better in technically he got better in the Future Trunks saga. The Goku Black stuff.
Yeah. But it's still one of those cases where there's so many. Like if you go back to Dragon Ball, there was so many great characters and it was so diverse. And while Goku, yes, was the strongest, everyone got time to shine. Hell, even Bulma got time to shine in events. And now it's, the power creep is astronomical. How do you compete with gods?
You don't.
You don't, exactly. That's the reason why Yamcha stopped doing stuff and Krillin stopped doing stuff. And, they're like, what's the point? Why should I bust my ass off and train when we're going up against enemies that are just going to kill me and we have friends that can kill them? I should just go do my regular life and live my life.
They bring it back around at the end of the day, too, because I know the way they fix it is they have people fight from other universes, so it's no longer people who are from this world who are just constantly trying to beat Gokus and other gods. So you have probably like the equivalent, my favorite Goofy episode from whenever they start fighting our universes is they fight literal magical girls and they blow them up in the middle of their transformation because they're like, that's what you get for taking too long.
Oh, yeah.
Universe 2.
Yeah.
And that's why, that's one of the reasons I love the Tournament of Power saga is because so many of the Z fighters actually get to shine and get to have cool moments. And even when they are eliminated, they're eliminated for the most part in cool ways. Poor Piccolo.
You mean poor Master Roshi?
Yeah, well, poor Master Roshi too, but at least Master Roshi goes out quite a bit.
When this was made, they weren't planning on doing Super, correct? Still at the time?
No.
They were throwing the idea around, but they weren't settled on it yet.
Which is why it's still Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, and then that's also why this arc then was remade in Super.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because
how many episodes they turned this into?
12,
5 or 6. Oh, goddamn.
Was it? I thought it was more than 5 or 6.
I thought it was 12.
Yeah, I thought it was 12.
So, yeah, I think it's 12.
Okay.
Because what happened?
They expand on it a lot. I mean, they add way more stuff, and most of it's unneeded.
I was a little bummed that Trunks wasn't in this movie, just because I thought it'd be cool to have Frieza see Trunks like, you're the one that killed me, or some kind of comment like that. And, Trunks just beat Trunks. Because Trunks is mentioned in this when which is a little problematic, but when I forgot her name, she's like, I got a boyfriend, Trunks, he'll beat you up.
Oh, my
head.
Yeah, but it would have been little. It would have been little Trunks, not.
No. They also mentioned that they couldn't find the other Saiyan that had bested him.
Yes.
Right after they brought him back.
Yeah, they were looking for adult Trunks,
which is in a different time.
Correct.
Teenage Trunks.
But Frieza doesn't know that.
No, I mean, it makes sense. Like, I do like when they make the comment about, when Bob was like, yeah, it's my son, but he wasn't born yet, but he came from the future, and Jock was like, that's against the law, and he's like,
And I love at the end when after Whis reruns time, he's like, so you going to do anything to him? I didn't see a thing.
Couldn't do anything.
No.
Seeing the training stuff with Goku and Vegeta training with Whis, I thought was also good. Like to see how powerful he is. I did appreciate that.
So they tease a little bit of that too as well. Mike Whis mentions being in a constant state of. Does he mention it's a constant state?
Yes, he does.
Okay,
Yes.
A constant state of Ultra Instinct, which is Goku's next form.
Oh, okay. That in the Broly movie then?
No, it's in the series.
No, they don't say Ultra Instinct. He says he's able to move. His body's able to move on its own without him thinking.
Yes.
On instinct.
Yes, on pure instinct.
And then he steps in the poo, which I really, really love the way that Kira draws poo. Because I played a bunch of Dragon Quest, like Dragon Quest 8, for example, and that's what I was like, this is great. The pink poo is just so good.
Okay, wait. Sorry,
I
go
was
ahead.
just going to say, except for the fact that when they're eating the ice cream, some of it looks exactly like what he stepped in.
Whatever. I didn't notice.
I noticed. I was like, okay. I mean, it's not the same thing, but I was like, that's kind of funny.
So I had one problem with this scene when they were sparring with Whis, and that's I purposely paid attention to this scene the other day. Not once do you ever see Whis sign his signature on their chests and Vegeta's armor.
No, but
It's too fast.
yeah.
But
It's
no,
supposed to
I
be that.
legitimately slowed it down to does he actually? No, he doesn't.
No,
I mean-
it's just supposed to be that it's so fast that we don't see it either, I guess.
Whis is like next to the Grand Priest and Zeno. Like Whis and the others like him are like the strongest beings in any universe. They're stronger than the Destroyers by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that they have Beerus in this movie, but he doesn't really do anything, which I was okay with. He's just kind of there.
Yeah,
I didn't mind
wish
that.
they.
I mean,
I
can't do
wish
a lot
they
with
would have had Frieza like try to go after Bulma, and Beerus just like grab him like, nope, that didn't happen. You go over there.
But again, he said he wouldn't intervene. He's only there for the ice cream.
But he said that like no matter what happens, he will protect Bulma because she gives him ice cream.
yeah.
Well, all he said was he made sure she didn't get destroyed when the Earth blew up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I
I
don't-
like Beerus.
It still would have been cool, but I was okay with what he does do. In here, I had no complaints with it. I kind of liked it that he took a backseat, to be honest, because I didn't really want another Beerus movie.
I would be interested how you feel about Beerus if you watched All Super, because I like Beerus, but he's never. There's only one other time in the entire show where he is as cool as he is in Battle of Gods.
So I also kind of remember that too, and I agree because they I think is this kind of played off of the idea that this. So we had Battle of the Gods come out and they turned that into an anime. Is Resurrection F supposed to be a sequel to the anime? Maybe
It's a sequel to the movie, to Battle of Gods movie, because Super wasn't out yet.
Okay. Because one thing that I'm pretty sure I'm remembering from the anime, but they do it in this, is where Beerus does the really stupid thing where he sneezes and blows up a planet. And they basically imply that one of the reasons why Whis has that power to rewind time is because, this happens all the time where Beerus accidentally destroys a planet and I rewind time to fix it because we can't just destroy planets willy-nilly like we think you can.
No, it's more like he does it in case Beerus makes a mistake by, again, like sneezing. Because he can destroy whatever he wants, just that when he does it by accident, that's when Whis fixes it.
Well, there is kind of a balance to destruction and creation.
Yeah.
So Beerus can pretty much, like, if he deems something needs to go bye-bye, he can do it, but he can't just go throughout the universe blowing every single thing away.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Beerus has one other really cool moment, I think, to the point where we're at in the manga, and that's my problem with Beerus is he's never really as cool as he is in Battlefield.
And I think that's fine. He doesn't, in my opinion, he doesn't need to be because he's too powerful. That I think he's kind of one of those characters that you can have in the background, but you really can't have in the fights. I do like how they, foreshadowing, they mentioned the stuff with Whis being able to turn back time, and then that plays a part later in the movie. I do appreciate that it's mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And Barry, what did you think about, like, who kills the red Minotaur guy? Is that Gohan or Piccolo?
Gohan going Super Saiyan, One Punch Man's.
Okay.
Yep. That was Gohan's best moment. But I mean, the fact that Frieza, was such an older villain and power levels have crept so much, Gohan, where he was, should have been able to do something. Even if he didn't beat Frieza, should have been able to hold his own.
Yeah, in his regular mode, like Gold, not a chance.
No, not a chance in Gold. But I'm saying, like, in his regular, he should have at least been able to hold his own for a bit.
Yeah, because even Frieza says that he's holding back. He could tell that he's going for non-lethal blows.
Exactly. Because, I mean, Gohan has always been non-violent, but you would think that with Frieza, he saw everything Frieza did. He saw Krillin die. He still remembers that. It's like you would think it's like, I'm not holding back anymore. Like, screw this. Like, you are definitely a threat to this planet. And again, that just falls to the disappointment to what they did to him and how strong he should have been versus what he became.
Yeah, I really love where Gohan is now in the manga.
Yes.
Where he's now in the. I think the trajectory of what they've done with Gohan is darn near perfect. But
Yes.
till you get there, it sucks.
And I get it because it's a low. Like, you need that low to appreciate the high, and you need to see. But he should have never fallen that far of a drop. He knows the dangers of, even though at this point we don't know about the other universes, right? That's not common knowledge. We know about the dangers from other planets. Frieza, we knew is an alien. Gohan was in, at Namek, and we know about Yadrat. We know about these other planets. We know about these other threats, and the fact that there could be another Boo waiting to come out, or another thing like Boo or stronger than Boo. And now that he's got a family, and as a father, I think we all understand and appreciate the willingness to protect our own children. You would think that even though he is doing the scholarly thing and he's teaching and giving the seminars and all that stuff, which is still important, that he wouldn't let his training go to waste in case he needed to protect and protect Videl and protect Pan. And that's the part that hurts so much, because once he had Pan, you would think that would be enough for him to say, you know what, I can't keep going down that route. And he does. After this happens, he talks to Piccolo, I want you to start training me again. I can't be this low. But it should have never gotten this bad. Especially knowing that there are other threats out there that are otherworldly. If it was just human threats, he's fine. At Gohan's weakest, he could still beat the crap out of every human on the planet.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, like how weak he is, because like until you guys started bringing it up about this movie, like I didn't even really I didn't think he was that weak. I just thought, okay, Frieza's just really powerful. But I forget, because again, I never saw Buu Saga, so I forget how powerful Gohan got during that time.
I mean, when you see Gohan when he first shows up at his house where Piccolo's rocking Pan, which I love that image, that's hilarious. I mean, Gohan is he has no muscle whatsoever.
Yeah.
He's just like pencil arm.
Exactly. Which is again a far cry. And I mean, if Buu was there, if Majin Buu was there, he would have been a fight with Frieza. I mean, Frieza might have won, maybe not, because Buu's pretty much indestructible. But it still would have been a fight to see. And Mystic Gohan beat the snot out of Super Buu. Just obliterated Super Buu. Like, to the point that he had to retreat and recollect himself. And Super Buu, if Buu was Super Buu level, would have beaten the snot out of Frieza.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down. And probably just absorbed him. That
would have been cool.
But, it's one of those things where you see that drastic. And I think what hurt more is we had this big wait, right? The end of Buu Saga and the end of Dragon Ball Z, we had this long, long wait till we got Battle of Gods. And in Battle of Gods, Gohan at least showed up. He didn't, do as much, but at least he showed up. And then we get this, and we're, after all these years, excited to see where he goes next. Because Gohan, and he's not only my favorite character, but I know a ton of others, because we watch Gohan grow up all throughout Z. We see him as a baby, and we watch him get better and better and stronger and grow up and become the man he is. To see him fall from grace that much, it felt like a disservice. It felt like a slap in the face, especially knowing that Toriyama wanted to make Gohan the new main character, and people cried for Goku. Just to do that to him, it's like, this is your new main character that you wanted? Like, why? Yeah. Why would you purposely do that?
There's a scene that I absolutely like. It's one of the scenes that makes me like, I'm kind of semi okay with what they've done to Gohan. Like what they did to Gohan. Now that I know what they've done to get him where he is now, I think it's pretty much perfect. But there's a scene in the Black Arc when Trunks meets Gohan for the first time in adult Gohan, and Trunks is like, "This can't be Gohan. This Gohan I knew radiated with power just being around him, and who is this guy? Who is he's meek and mild, and he has almost no power coming off of him, but it's the scene of Trunks going I wonder if maybe I could have been this happy if things had turned out different. Could I have had what Gohan has?" And it's one of those scenes where I'm like, they still use what they've done to Gohan at times to have really good scenes.
Yeah, and in that case, I agree. Like in the Goku Black arc and all that stuff, where future Trunks gets to see Gohan happy and alive, and as opposed to the Gohan he knew, which lived in a world of death and destruction and everything. That was a wonderful scene, and it was great. It's not mutually exclusive. You can have a wonderful family life, happy, and still be strong as hell, especially when you're a Saiyan. That to me is the big hang up, because everything else about this movie I really enjoyed. And I was psyched to see, here comes Frieza back, and we're going to see all the characters, get together, and, I can't wait to see, because the whole Frieza saga, if you think about it, was only shared by a very small group of the Z fighters, truly. Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin. That's really it. Everybody else was either dead, another world, or Vegeta too. So 5. Yeah. And that was it. Dende, if you want, as well, but Dende really isn't a fighter, but he definitely experienced that. And that's a personal thing. Like, Bulma was there, but wasn't a fighter. But that was a real personal event. That was a life-changing event. I mean, if that happened to any one of us, that would have been an absolute life-changing, oh my God, thing. And instead, there's no emotion there of even reaching in for that strength, because we know Gohan's strength is his potential, which is the whole point of Mystic.
I'm sorry, but the second that Frieza finished one-shotting Gohan, I was actually kind of happy.
Did they also say his heart stopped too?
Yeah.
Yeah. In one shot.
Damn.
You were happy about that?
Yeah.
No,
because he peaked, as they say. He just stopped after the Buu saga. He just completely stopped. I'm like, you know what? This is what you get for not training.
Yeah.
You got overconfident.
Yeah.
Well, he got overconfident, and he also had Goku and Vegeta are back. Because in the Buu saga, Gohan was still really strong. I think he still trains some, but Goku's back. He's got a wife. He's got a daughter. He's wanting to build a career and stuff like that. So Goku's back, which it does come back later in Super, where Piccolo's like, "You're doing this all wrong. Like, you do realize that there are times when Goku and Vegeta won't be here. What are we going to do?" And that's when Gohan finally unlocks his mystic form again, because he's like, I need to be more ready.
Well, even at the beginning of the Buu arc, when Piccolo or Vegeta looks at Gohan and like, how far you've fallen. Like, you were the strongest of us, and now I'm stronger than you because I kept training and you didn't. And we all know, like, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which was an absolute beast, was only unlocked because of his emotions. I mean, seeing 16's head get smashed was definitely the motivator there. And then, of course, losing his father. But, he let that go. He didn't touch into that again, unless you count the BoJack movie, in which case, again, he becomes a beast. So with the world at peace, he doesn't realize that trigger. He doesn't utilize that trigger.
Yeah. Well, and Gohan, like Goku and Vegeta, are warriors. They want to be fighting at all times. Yeah. Gohan is not that.
No, he just wants to ride around on Icarus.
Yeah, he doesn't have the drive to keep training, until Piccolo was like, okay, we need to have a come to Jesus meeting. And I'm going to tell you some cold hard truths, and you do with them what you will. And after that, Gohan trained more, and there's still, when we get to the Super movie, you'll see stuff in that. But Gohan is still, he does pick it back up after that, or to get where he is now, and now he is one of the strongest beings in the show again. Finally.
To kind of talk about when Goku and Vegeta show up in this movie, I think that's all. I enjoyed all the banter between him and Frieza. I thought all that was good, and the fact I'm not surprised that it's Goku being Goku and he doesn't show his power until later, what he can really do. He doesn't even go Super Saiyan anything until after Frieza goes gold, if I remember correctly.
And and Goku's like, yeah, I don't need you to go Super Saiyan to fight you now. It'd be a waste of time.
Can I say probably the most fucked up thing ever?
Sure.
Goku fighting Frieza is the equivalent of you walking down the street and seeing your high school bully, and he's still a massive asshole, and you just start going at it.
Okay, that's fair. There's some cool stuff with I really enjoy the fight between Goku and Frieza, and then how it all goes. I thought it was all really good. The animation in this movie, I thought, is super good, even though I'm watching a crappy version, but I'm watching on YouTube, so I can't argue. But you can tell that the movie's supposed to be better. It's just, it's a YouTube video someone uploaded that they shouldn't have.
There's also this terrifying. I need to find your website. There's also just this terrifying thing of is it Chris Sabat? Not Chris Sabat. Who voices Goku?
Sean Schemmel.
Yeah.
Sean Schemmel just does a terrifying job of Goku when he's serious. Because even though I don't think it's really out of character, I'm glad Goku's on business. And like him and Frieza going back and forth, there is no like jokey joke. It's Goku straight up being like, "I'm gonna whoop your ass. You keep doing this, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you." And it's
I was just gonna say, especially after he goes.
and it's really weird because I guess I do kind of low key blame the Abridged, but it's also a thing of like people also seem to forget a lot too because of it. That Goku is at the end of the day some kind of weird fighting prodigy, which is why he's the main character.
Well, I mean, in that sense, so is Frieza. If you think about it, he's abnormally strong, and he got gold in just like a short amount of time of training. And before that, he never applied himself. He was just naturally that strong.
Mhm.
And if he applied himself, he would blow Goku out of the water if he actually like took the time and trained and applied himself.
I mean, it was the same thing with Vegeta at first too. At the very beginning, he even says that he'd never really pushed himself until he met Kakarot.
Yep.
He didn't need to. He was one of the most powerful
Vegeta
Saiyans.
was also arrogant because the class system. He had that I am a higher class Saiyan, therefore I'm better than
Prince
you.
of all Saiyans.
Prince of all Saiyans.
God,
So
I love that part when Frieza's like, you can come back and work for me, and he's like, you destroyed the planet I was supposed to be the king of.
dick.
And I love Vegeta's like, oh man, maybe I'm going to regret this. Fuck you.
I just like that Vegeta got his time to get back at Frieza, because if you remember back in the Frieza arc, Vegeta had that heart-to-heart with Goku right before Frieza finally killed him. And then when he comes back to life, he finally comes over to the battle and is about to join before he's wished away. And he never gets that closure with Frieza. So it was great to see him kind of get that here, even though Frieza pulled probably one of my favorite villain, moves when they're down and out. Like, I thought that was brilliant what he does.
Yeah,
So-
say what you
Yeah.
will. That was stolen from Vegeta. That's all I'm saying.
We're,
So
we're getting close to my
Frieza was gonna-
rant.
it's okay.
Or Vegeta was going to do that originally, yes, but I thought that the fact that Frieza actually does it on Vegeta, I thought was wonderful.
Yeah,
I'll
it
start-
was.
I'll start that rant with my rant.
Go right
Well,
ahead.
here we go.
Because one thing that we'll go back a little bit to, I would do, even though I know Goku's the main character, blah blah blah, whatever, things like that. I also would agree that I know people are always like, oh, it's Goku and Frieza because Frieza like made Goku a Super Saiyan, killed Krillin, but it's like, didn't like Frieza blow up Vegeta's entire fucking planet? I'm pretty sure that'd be a pretty cathartic like ass beating, So like I kind of hate that they really should have given it to Vegeta. But Dragon Ball Z has a really weird thing where they tend to ignore the laws of physics in their own game, in their own show, game, whatever, manga. Or to rewind it a little bit back, which I'm sure everyone here besides Mike is familiar with, which is power levels are bullshit, because at one point in the Cell Saga, Tien uses Kikogo and blasts Cell into the fucking ground, even though Cell's like at least 10 times powerful than him. Doesn't really make sense. Special ability, who gives a shit? But you can't tell me Goku in the middle of goddamn Super Saiyan Blue gets hit by fucking a goddamn minion with a ring. Not even like a fully charged like special gun. It is a ring gun that he shoots Goku in the heart and it legit almost fucking kills him.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
It's bullshit, but there is like an explanation to why. So like when they go to want to like block a blast or something, and I don't remember where this is from, but it is from like actual canon. Like they move Ki to the area to like be able to deflect that, and Goku was not expecting this blast to happen, so he was not prepared for it. Which it's still stupid, but it makes sense in that context. Like I've got problems with that.
It was
That
stupid
movie-
but effective.
This movie's fantastic until the last 20 minutes.
Is that the weird equivalent of like in the Cell Saga, which I think is even a filler episode, so you can't use it as an excuse, of the whole happening where Krillin's like, man, Goku's so strong as a Super Saiyan, I should just throw this fucking rock at his head. And it straight up clocks Goku in the head, and he's like, what the fuck? And Krillin's like, you're a Super Saiyan, you should have been able to dodge that. And he's like, I'm on vacation, dude. You really think I'm expecting a rock?
I was asleep. I was literally asleep. Hit me in the head with a rock. What the hell?
Yeah,
The
the laser is dumb, but I took it kind of like what you're saying. Like that's how is that he just, since he wasn't paying any attention, is that they're not invulnerable. They just are skilled.
They block.
Yeah.
Or they redirect or something.
Well, I would have rather had it been more something special move, but it had it been like a real special move that hit him, then his body might have disintegrated. You can't the same with a sensu beam.
I mean, wouldn't that also explain, though, as to why originally whenever Goku held Raditz down and he didn't block it, obviously, because he couldn't, that's why it went through both of them?
Oh,
Think about that.
good point.
Because remember, Goku had to hold Raditz, because if he didn't hold Raditz, he would have blocked it, and it would have been bounced back or redirected or something. But in order for Piccolo to kill both Raditz and Goku, it had to penetrate both of them. So like they were saying already, that the key acts as a barrier when you're actually, ready for it. Where like you guys just said right now, though, whenever Krillin hit him with the rock, he's on vacation. He wasn't prepared.
Also,
I'm just saying.
But also,
in
in this movie, Whis does do the sucker punch where he punches him in the gut and he's all hurt. So also he wasn't prepared for it. So that kind of foreshadows what they're talking about earlier in the movie too.
Everything Whis says does.
Yeah, Whis is great. But okay, no, I didn't realize. First, Goku goes in saying God, blue saying God, and then Frieza goes gold.
Yes.
God, that fucking transformation for both of them is so damn cool. Like, I don't like Frieza normally, but the gold Frieza does look cool.
It's a pretty cool
form.
form.
So he turns black.
Is that in Super?
That's the manga.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah. So here's part one of my rant. I still absolutely despise Super Saiyan Blue with the passion of 1,000 suns. Oh my God, I hate that transformation so much. It is so useless.
My favorite shade of blue.
The first outing of Super Saiyan Blue, Goku almost gets the crap kicked out of him.
That doesn't make it useless, though.
It's not useless. It's just a terrible transformation. The first showing of Blue is pathetic because Frieza has Goku on the ropes for the entire thing, and if it hadn't been for Frieza's stupid weakness, which I think that was completely dumb, Frieza would have won against probably Goku and Vegeta if they would have fought one-on-one.
No, so my friend asked me that too, and they actually have explained that in the series for the most part. And that kind of goes back into the Cell Saga as well, where it's not brought up like a lot, but it's brought up that advancing your forms, like for instance of going Super Saiyan, or what they do in the rest of the series, as technically pretty much everything is the equivalent of going to Super Saiyan, does burn through your stamina. That's why in the Cell Saga, when they're like, oh, how are you and Gohan still Super Saiyan? They're like, we trained so hard, it no longer burns stamina for us. So we're Super Saiyan all the time now because it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, we've gotten so used to the form that we can keep it without any negative effects.
I have a rant too, but I'll wait on that. So it's also about Blue.
Yeah. My biggest problem with Blue is the fact that, one, it's not cool. Two, and something Mike said was like, the transformation is awesome. Be happy because it's one of the only times you'll ever see it.
Oh, they don't use Blue after this?
They use Blue. They do not use that transformation hardly
that's
ever.
Fine.
And I know, but it is such a cool transformation, and later it's just like just flipping the switch like normal Super Saiyan when it should have. This is my problem with Blue. Blue should have been something that they could not use regularly. Blue should have, and they mentioned this in the Universe tournament. Whis talks about this of like, somebody asked why Goku and Vegeta aren't just using Blue. And Whis is like, well, because Blue burns so much stamina, they're pacing themselves. And that's my problem with Blue is like, you could have actually had it be a transformation that is only used in dire situations and actually made it cool. Like, oh crap, we're here. We've got 20 minutes to use Blue. We're going to pop Blue off and hopefully we can win. But now Blue is it's just Super Saiyan again. They can use it whenever they want to when they try some cheap horse crap to seem to make it something that it's not. And I hate Blue. I hate Blue so much. It's the worst. It's the worst transformation in that show.
I should have just been 4.
I will agree. Well, I like Ultra Instinct too. I actually like. I don't hate Blue, but I like Ultra Instinct more. But
Ultra Instinct's great.
I will agree that is kind of weird because they're not. It's not like they haven't thought of it before because if I remember correctly, y'all can tell me I'm wrong. Super Saiyan 3, like they very much say whenever Goku uses it, or Goku says it when he uses it, they're like, "Oh, Goku, why don't you just go Super Saiyan 3 again?" And he says something like, "Oh yeah, if I turn Super Saiyan 3, there's like a very small chance I could blow up the entire Earth, and whoever I'm fighting using it will also like our fight will probably also blow up the Earth, so I'm not risking it."
Well, it's like when he first used it in the Buu arc, it literally almost shook the planet apart when he was transformed.
Yeah.
And it also is also another thing of like the only reason that when he learned it, that he could use it like he did was because he was dead. Mm-hmm. So he didn't have the penalties of life And he didn't quite figure that out until he was alive and like, oh, crap, Super Saiyan 3 is really hard to use.
Yeah, it drew a lot of power.
Yeah. And that's why they mentioned, like, oh, they're using, like, Super Saiyan God because it is fairly simple and easy to maintain. But Blue is really hard. But for the rest of the show up to that point, it's never acted like that.
Okay, I have a couple comments as a guy who knows nothing about Dragon Ball Super. Like with the transformation, the way I took it, well, it's a movie, so that's why it has like the cool transformation. I'm fine that we don't see it again.
Yeah,
it's a movie. I mean,
yeah,
different.
That's just a me thing.
Oh no, I get it. You're also more of a DBZ fan in general than I am, and I know nothing about Super. Like for me, I get what you're talking about the blue form, but it also is kind of just like they always have to take the next step because it's just that's what Dragon Ball does. We gotta have new fusions, new combos, new forms, sell more toys. But I'm not sure. But that's how that's how America would do it. The other thing that I wanted to mention. Fuck, now I forgot what I was gonna say. Yep, I don't remember. Other than the blue is cool. I had a comment that I wanted to say, now I cannot remember it. So
come to you. Right after you hit stop in the recording.
You're probably right, Barry.
I'm not saying Blue doesn't have its moments. It definitely has its moments. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken is incredible.
I remember. When Goku is too confident also kind of fits what you guys said to me last time when we did Battle of God, is that as you go in the more powerful Super Saiyans, you get more cocky. So I could kind of take it as the blue had made him a little bit more cocky, and he didn't kill Frieza or stop Frieza when he should have, and gave him and let him get the best of him. That's
the way I see it, it's like Super Saiyan 2 and 3 combined in that they're more powerful, but at the same time they're also more cocky. And obviously the stamina drain too, like 3.
And that's also one of Piccolo mentions, like to Gohan, like when he was fighting Boo, he could have just like taken Boo out in a half a second, but he wanted to play with him. He wanted to, and that was his downfall. That was Gohan's downfall in that fight, same like it was with Cell. Gohan could have annihilated Cell in 2 seconds, but he wanted to pull the wings off of the butterfly. If you've seen Abridged, you know what I'm talking about. And that's why Goku died. And as Gohan keeps making that mistake of like, when he gets more powerful, he gets more cocky and he wants to show off and, be the big dick badass. And it never pans out for him until Beast Mode.
Okay.
I still think Blue should have been Super Saiyan 4 instead, or something similar to it.
Super Saiyan 4 is in GT, right?
Yes, but the reason why I say this is because the whole thing with the whole Ancient Saiyans, like I said last time, but also they could explain the reason why IC4 should have been blue is that they could explain how the red hair would explain the red fur for Super Saiyan 4. I mean, that's just me, though. Like the red hair that Goku and Vegeta get could have just turned into the fur like they do in GT.
But I think, aren't they trying to forget GT happened?
GT doesn't happen yet. GT is
it's still a possibility. I mean, they even say because even though the games aren't canon, there was something that Akira Toriyama said that Blue and 4 are similar in power, which is why in Universe 2, the game, there's an alternate mission where you go into the dimension that Whis creates that Goku and Vegeta get their blue forms, but there's something has changed us so slightly that instead of going blue, they go 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if they told connected to GT.
People told me
Toriyama's
GT
gone now, so.
wasn't canon. Is that true, or that just people being?
It's not canon. Like they haven't really confirmed it yet. But now that Akira's passed away, it may not actually ever be confirmed because of Daima's happening too.
So the reason the way I always understand it of like GT as it happened is not canon, but it could still happen. Like they could still do some of the stuff that happened in GT. They could still get to where GT was. It just it wouldn't have happened the same way that it did.
I mean, they do actually reference certain things in Super that happened in GT. Like they reference certain things like the Tuffles.
Mm-hmm. They've already Oob is an actual thing, like he is in the manga.
Well, Oob is in Dragon Ball Z as well.
But
that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but it's at the end.
And like we mentioned before, as far as we know, even to where the manga has ended, there is still plenty of time before the ending of Z. Like, so there is a chance all of this could still happen before GT. And for all we know, they might rewrite GT because I think, if I'm probably super wrong too, I think like GT is not written by Akira Toriyama, but he kind of had like some character designs and things like that. So
yeah,
but like, GT was put out and kind of disliked, and then it was the movie that Toriyama was like, okay, well, I got to come back and fix all this crap. So
I mean, GT happened because Toriyama wanted a break and Toei wanted to keep making money. So Toriyama helped with the designs. And I know a lot of people say, well, if Toriyama didn't do it, it's not canon. But obviously that's something that can't happen anymore unless we never want Dragon Ball ever again. So we're going to have to accept that there's Dragon Ball without him at this point.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So I actually heard that there's a new Super series coming out. Not Daima, that's a whole different thing. But that's why people keep thinking that the new Dragon Ball Daima series is GT when it's actually not.
What is Daima?
It's the new series where they're all babies or kids.
Yeah, where it's the whole peel off wish again. But it's not a sequel to Super from what I've heard, but it's also not canon, apparently.
It's
but
very
Toriyama's doing it, or he was working on it.
Yeah. Daima is basically like Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, not Gohan. Like basically, I think Whis and Beerus. Like they all get wished back to kids.
No, Gohan too, and Videl. You see it in the trailer, I believe it.
Is it okay? I can't remember if Gohan was in that or not. But yeah, they are all they are back to children.
Yeah, and I think it's fun. Someone makes a weird wish, but I do think the funnier thing that people have been theorizing, which I think is hilarious, is that since everyone's kids, no one's strong except for Gohan, because Gohan was trained as a kid at that age, so he's the same power level he was when he was that age.
Well, Goku was trained also as a kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And but I mean, you got to remember,
Vegeta probably too.
If they're going GT rules, that Goku still had all his power when he was turned back to a kid.
Yeah, he even used Super Saiyan 3, but it was harder to control as a kid.
Yep. Wouldn't that make Boo stronger too then?
Well, Whis and Beerus would be still insanely powerful.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, then wouldn't Boo become stronger too then? Because, Kid Boo.
Well, Kid Boo isn't young.
Yeah, Kid Boo isn't young Fat Boo. That's what they're going with.
Yeah.
I'm very.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
We need more spin-offs. They're making Muppet Babies over Dragon Ball Z characters.
Okay, are they making? Is there another Super coming?
Yeah, from what I've read, there's another Super coming.
I want to say they're talking probably 2026 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine they would have to because they want to keep going, and there's so much in the manga already that hasn't been adapted, and why not?
There's a lot in the manga that they haven't touched yet.
The manga also stopped at a stopping point, so it's not which is I feel is at least a good thing as well, because it's the end of an arc, so it's not like the Super manga ends in the middle of a fight or in the middle of a story.
Yeah.
Like literally it ends with all the characters going, all right, well, we're all going to go home. That was a good training session. Everyone have a good day. Okay, bye everybody. Bye. And it's kind of a sad farewell, honestly.
Do you think they'll do one more chapter or something to it to have a wrap up? Or?
No, they're all talking about, because the series is being picked up by his son. They're basically just going to figure out. I wouldn't say one more chapter, but I will probably say it'll probably end in one big final arc.
Probably taking care of Frieza again.
Yeah.
I'm glad his son's getting involved.
Oh yeah,
I am too.
Yeah, it's weird because where they're at in the manga now, if it hadn't been for the whole Frieza thing, I'm like, this is a good way to end Super. Like that was a good ending.
How long did Super run for? What years?
Oh shit!
I was trying to find online, but I didn't really get
the manga or the
anime.
The anime.
That was 2015 to 2018 or something like that. I could be wrong. I'm just trying to remember.
No. It was still running until. No. Yeah, the anime ended at the end of 2018.
Holy shit! I was right.
Oh, okay. I was just curious. That's all. Okay, so it ends, and then the Broly movie comes out after the end of it.
Yeah, and then superhero after that.
But like in the manga, I'm thinking superhero. Superhero, there's a bunch of stuff between Broly and superhero in the manga.
Okay, that makes sense. And the show will probably eventually come back to that. I do want to talk about the last bit of this movie before we get done. After you have Goku get injured because he's too confident, the stuff with Vegeta I thought was really good. Seeing Vegeta go Super Saiyan Blue, I like all that, and I like the fact that Vegeta doesn't kill him fast enough, and Frieza destroys the world.
Yep.
Because they took too long. And like you kind of see earlier when Frieza just breaks the ship, Frieza's species can breathe outside in space where nobody else can. Like Whis even makes comments like, "Yeah, Frieza will probably be alive because he can breathe in this. He doesn't need it. He's fine.
Yeah, he mentions that in the Frieza arc. It's proper.
Oh,
Yeah, when he goes to blow Namek up, he's like, I can breathe in space.
Mhm.
God, it's been so long. It's just really good.
Well-
I think it also makes sense that Vegeta makes that mistake.
Yeah, but yeah,
It makes sense to me. Like, all the hatred Vegeta has towards Frieza destroyed his planet.
Oh yeah,
mean,
no, I get it. He wanted to take his time with him. He wanted to enjoy it.
And he's more confident because he's Super Saiyan Blue. I took it too.
I wouldn't say more confident, more like he's rubbing it in his face a little bit. or a
And
lot.
Vegeta, honestly, Vegeta is probably the only one who doesn't really have that problem because he's that
Oh.
way anyway.
Oh, good
So
point.
it doesn't really like the only time it kind of affected him was with Cell when he just wanted
Yeah.
a better fight. But that's just Vegeta. Like the whole arrogant thing doesn't really affect Vegeta at all. He's the only one it doesn't.
Because he's naturally arrogant.
He's naturally prideful.
Okay. I also think it makes sense for Frieza's character that Frieza didn't train long enough with the gold form to keep it, so he loses it while they're fighting because he was stupid. Like, I think that fits Frieza, especially like you have a character you mentioned in this movie, fits the context too, of someone who didn't ever have to train before, so he didn't even think to keep training to get used to the ability. I think that all fits too.
Agreed.
So I had no complaints with that. I love the do-over where Whis does that. First he saves them, and then he does a do-over so the planet doesn't get destroyed. I think all that is done really well, and I enjoyed it. Like, I couldn't put this movie down. I was like, this is so good.
and these movies surprisingly hold up pretty well.
Yeah, this is a good fucking movie.
So
Does Goku kill Frieza then? Like, again?
Yeah, again.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say he kills him again, but yeah, he kills him.
Because I guess he didn't kill him the first. Well, no, he did kill him in the Super Saiyan.
No, that's
No,
Trunks.
it's Trunks.
I know
When
Trunks
Goku-
kills him, but I thought he almost killed him, and that's why they put him back together and make him cyborg. But I guess he just messed him up.
Yeah, he just messed him up. pretty much.
well, no, because Frieza actually cut himself in half because he threw the discs at Goku and Goku
Oh.
took him back to Frieza. And one of my favorite abridged lines is, "Daddy, I don't want to be on Namek anymore."
To be
Oh.
fair, in the Trunks timeline, Goku does kill Frieza, but only in
Yeah.
the Trunks timeline.
Okay.
He actually instant transmissions onto Frieza's ship and blows
Wait, really?
the ship up before he gets to Earth. Yes, in the
Yeah.
Trunks timeline.
Why the fuck is he late in the series then? Does it say
Because
why?
he was about to do it, but then he sensed another strong power on Earth, so he knew it was going to be okay. Because he
Mhm.
felt Trunks' presence. That's why he didn't do it.
He felt whose
Oh.
presence?
Trunks.
Trunks.
He felt that future Trunks was there. He just knew that it was a power, very, very powerful person and someone good. So he didn't feel, I need to hurry up, rush there. I'm okay.
Yeah, in Trunks' timeline, before Frieza even ever gets to Earth, Goku teleports to the ships and blows it up and kills all of them.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
So he does do it, just not in our timeline that we see.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget there's that other timeline. It is cool, though, that there is. What I like Tommy-Wimey stuff.
Timey-wimey, spacey-wacey.
It just makes you wonder what Cooler could do then.
I wish they bring Cooler in.
Yeah, me too.
I do see now. If you're a big fan of Dragon Ball, then you would like Dragon Ball, Super Dragon Ball Heroes. They bring Cooler back, both versions of him, and he gets Golden form, both fifth form and his metal form.
Super Dragon Ball Heroes is surprisingly solid.
It's great.
What is that again?
It's
It is
like a promotional
Yeah, go ahead.
cartoon for the card game.
Oh.
But
Okay.
but it is actually I think some of it is better than most of the stuff done in Super.
Oh God, yes. And
Yes.
it's also somewhat tied to Dragon Ball Xenoverse games.
Because a lot of the Xenoverse characters actually show up, I believe.
Yeah, like Few was originally from the Super Dragon Ball Heroes, but he ended up in the second game. Like it was like I see the second Xenoverse game as like his origin story almost.
Is that game good?
It is. I love it. I could put hours into it. It can be a very long RPG type game because you can be a Saiyan, you can be a Namekian, you can be a Majin or a Frieza race because they don't know what else to call them, or a regular human.
I will tell
the
you-
PS5 version just came out. It's $20.
And you can actually work with Frieza. You can work with Broly, with Cell, with all of them.
I will
And
say
you can
one.
have. Sorry, go ahead.
I will say one thing that will make you play it. Are you ready, Mike? Are you ready, everyone else?
Sure.
Or so Mario knows. There is DLC where you continue the storyline in Trunks' timeline, and so Trunks fights Majin Buu.
Yes. Isn't that the newest
That
one?
also
Wait, that's the
also
one that
happened in
came out.
Kakarot.
That one came out a few months ago, and the most recent one had to do with a different timeline that had to do with more than one Goku Black arc. Like there was a Ultra Ego type of Vegeta and stuff like that. Like
this is for Xenoverse 2?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And you need to play it, Mike. Please, if you play it, have me on it. I love that game.
It won't be anytime soon.
You can be a Frieza race character too, and go golden.
Yep.
And be a girl.
They actually do the Future Trunks storyline in Kakarot too.
That I want to play someday. That looked really good.
I have it.
I couldn't get into it, honestly, and I have it.
Mike, if you play Kakarot, you gotta play it for your PS5 because apparently it doesn't run on the Steam Deck. I already checked.
Oh. I mean, just because it doesn't say verified doesn't mean it doesn't run. Just to let you know.
It doesn't say verified either. It says unsupported. And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I can't.
That doesn't mean it doesn't run either.
Okay.
Just to let you know, that doesn't mean anything. I have ran games they unsupported and they still work. So you have to go in forums, and that's how you find out if it actually does, because it just means that not enough people have tried it.
Okay.
But I'm in a Steam Deck group on Facebook, and they talk a lot about stuff like that, where somebody's like, it doesn't say verified. They're like, fuck you, because they're assholes. But I'm not joking. That's some of the comments that they have had to people when they ask them questions like, did you even try, you assholes? Like, come on, guys, you ask a question. Just
I
think if I get the Steam Deck.
It's wonderful, man. Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're like me and been buying bundles for years, you just don't do a podcast where you always have the games you have to play. Like, other than that, you might get around to a lot of them.
Just don't play Final Fantasy 14 because you will never play anything else. Trust me. Ask me how I know.
Don't do that.
Yeah, same here.
I know how you do.
I'm playing right now.
Yeah, I know. I could hear the clicking.
The only other game that I can think of that I really want Mike to play, because I really want to play it and it's not canon because it's completely fucking banana shoes, is that really goofy Dragon Ball Z like DS game where like you can fuse characters together. Yeah.
Yeah,
in the game
I do want to play that.
I do know the game ends with like all the villains fusing together, and you have to pick like your strongest. I think I want to say it's not meta. What's it called? It's something where it's storyline wise, where you fuse with all the main characters, and so you have like a 7-on-7 fusion fight between you and like all the Dragon Ball Z heroes, and you're fighting all the Dragon Ball Z villains fused together.
Is that a DS game or 3DS game?
Yeah, it's
a 3DS game.
3DS game.
I do want to play it, but 3DS I'm going to buy it, so I have to wait until I eventually. But DS game I'll play. I think for sure next year I'm going to make myself finally play Boost Fury because I'm really itching to play that now after all this Dragon Ball stuff you guys got me back into.
It's Boost Fury.
Boost Fury is the Legacy Goku 3.
Oh, really?
It's a GBA game. It's great. Yeah, I played the crap out of that game. Both Legacy of Goku 2 and Boost Fury are both fantastic.
Yeah, Legacy Goku 2 was actually the first Dragon Ball thing on this show, episode like 51 or so, long time ago, with a completely different cast. But I've always wanted to play Boost Fury. I kind of want to do Legacy Goku 1, even though I know it's going to be garbage going back to it. But I do want to play it.
I didn't know they made Legacy Goku 3. I always thought it was going to 2.
No, well, Boost Fury
they don't call it 3.
3, but it is the third.
Okay.
So it's not your fault. I mean, they purposely changed the name, so. All right, we should go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Joe, why don't you go first?
I'll go ahead and put this on the shelf. I had a lot of fun with it. I liked the movie, and it was really fun. Funny enough, I will admit, it's I guess a reference. I don't like this as much as Battle of the Gods, the movie. I think Battle of the Gods was actually way better, but this is a very, very close second, and we'll see how that goes on the ranking system because I haven't seen the other two yet.
I haven't either. And Barry.
Yeah, this goes on the shelf. It's just despite my distaste for what they did to Gohan, and I'll never forgive them for it, I still had a really good time. It was the first of the movies that I actually got to see in theaters, and it was just really a special moment. And Frieza's always been my favorite villain, so to see him come back and I'll always love the scenes with the teddy bears and dancing around the tree, and it was just so quirky and funny and hilarious at the same time, and it couldn't happen to a better villain. So I will put this on the shelf.
Okay, John.
Shelf because it's on my shelf.
Right.
I've got problems with the movie, and I despise the last 20 minutes, but it's still really good. I think some of the choices they made could have been way better, and one of the big ones is I kind of think Frieza should have blown the planet up on Goku and not Vegeta. But I other than that, it's great. really good. It is my least favorite of the super movies, but it's still really good.
Well, it's not a super movie.
Yeah.
Well, but you know what I mean.
Of that set of
Yeah,
the new
of the
movies.
sets.
But yeah, it's shelf.
Okay. And Mario.
I will actually go ahead and stack this one only because it is a great one. Yeah, I love Golden Frieza. I love the Goku and Frieza fight. Vegeta's stuff was better, even though it was short-lived. Gohan was a little punk, whatever. But honestly, this one, while it is good, it is the only. It is. I don't know. I wouldn't have gone to pay to see this one in theaters because I didn't. I wouldn't go out of my way to put it on TV unless I'm bored and have something in the background playing. Then I'll put it on TV. I'll put it also stack. Because honestly, the only one I will actually put on the shelf is the Broly one, because I saw that one how you should have seen it, and that is in theaters with my wife, and we were cheering.
Oh.
Actually,
I'll
it
go
was her
laugh.
idea to go see that one.
I'm going to put this on the shelf. I fucking love this film. I went to watch it a second time. I watched it while we were talking. Like, I just really enjoyed this movie when I watched it recently for the show. Like, it was really fun, and I was way into it more than I expected. Because I'm not a huge Dragon Ball fan. This movie's like, yeah, okay, it's in there, Mike. Like, you are a fan. Like, this is a great film. I really enjoyed it. I thought about buying the DVD or Blu-ray set of all three. This Battle Gods and Broly. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I'm really thinking about it just because it'd be cool to have. I don't really watch DVDs or Blu-rays ever, so. But no, I'm glad to see it again. So definitely go on the shelf. Great fucking movie to be. All right. I guess that just goes to plugs. Mario, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, under Biased Gaming, and also my Facebook page where I also promote both my podcast and also the cosplay making. Like the first one I made actually was a Vegeta Saiyan armor from this movie.
And Barry.
You could find me on Twitter at HawkHellfire. You could also find me at nintendofuse.com and youtube.com/NintendoFuse, where we do bi-weekly podcasts live at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday nights, as well as premiumeditiongames.com, where you can pre-order our latest set of physical pre-orders for the Switch, as well as a bunch of in-stock games that you can grab right now and prepare this summer. Our next batch will be dropping.
And John.
You can find me over on the Commander Lionheart channel every once in a while when he streams. I'm not sure what he's doing this week, but he said he was going to probably stream it. So
Good. I'm glad he's starting to stream more. I'm glad he's starting to feel better about that.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you enjoyed this episode, over 600 other episodes of the podcast, you can find everything we do on Podbean. In the show notes will be our other Dragon Ball stuff. So if you want to hear a little bit more Dragon Ball, it will be in the show notes of this episode. Definitely go check that out. We have some. So always good. And if you want to support the show, we do a Patreon. For those $1 you vote in our Patreon poll. We have one every month. So definitely go. Great way to help out and support the show. And you get some extra content. Well, I guess not really. You get a couple video content. But definitely go check us out there. We have a Discord. Please join our Discord. It's free. We're always having new people join us and chat with us. So please do that. And you want to get a shot of my awesome intro and outro. What's up?
I was saying that the Discord is very fun.
It is. I'm trying to get more people to join. People are though, so I'm happy. I'm always happy when I see someone new come in and says "Wave!" I'm like, yay! Every time. So except for the bot. I got it. That's how you know you're getting. That's how you know you're growing when you get a bot that joins you.
We got a bot?
Be a bot. I had a bot join the Discord. I had to kick out.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
It didn't last long. It was a crypto bot. This is what I get from. You know what? The funny thing is, I just posted a Discord link on Twitter, and then it happened shortly after that. So fuck you, Musk. Fuck you. So I blame Twitter. I'll give a shout out to awesome intro outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Free. You can follow her on TikTok, Twitch, Instagram. You'll see a link to her link tree. Give a shout out to A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. Definitely go support his show. Check out No Man's Fantasy, Nintendo Main Podcast, Talk Games, Chew Bubblegum. Just name a couple of my friends that have shows. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only, but you can find us on all there. And please rate and view us wherever you get your podcasts. And I think that's everything I need to say. We will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Have a good one.
Good night.